There is a power within you that responds, not to your wishes, not to your hopes, but to your words, spoken with conviction. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you are not begging for change, you are declaring it into being. You are not describing life as it is, you are authoring life as it shall be. The words you whisper in the silence of your heart shape the world you walk in. You are the prophet of your own destiny, and every I am you speak, whether in fear or in faith, becomes law to your subconscious. Speak blessings boldly, as one who knows the future is not waiting to be discovered, but commanded into form. Today you will remember who you are, the one who speaks, and it is done. Your word is creative power. The spoken word is not just sound. It is not idle breath passing through your lips. It is the spiritual substance of creation. Every word you speak carries with it the vibration of belief, and that belief takes root in the invisible field of your life. Words are seeds, and your life is the fertile ground. If you speak in defeat, you plant failure. If you speak in faith, you plant success. The moment you begin to speak blessings upon yourself, you are giving form and function to a new reality, one that must eventually rise and meet you in the outer world. It is written in the silence of universal law that nothing appears in the visible without being first declared in the invisible. Your words are not empty. They are carriers of intention, energy, and destiny. When you say, I am strong, even while feeling weak, you are not lying to yourself. You are calling forth a higher truth. You are drawing the unseen into the seen. You are speaking not what is, but what must become. Your word does not return void. It goes forth and accomplishes the purpose for which it is spoken, provided you do not cancel it with doubt. Look around you. Everything you see began with a word. The homes, the careers, the relationships, all of it was once spoken either outwardly or inwardly, with conviction or fear. Nothing forms without first being named. So, what have you been naming in your life? What declarations are you making each day when you speak about yourself? The unconscious phrases we use, I never get ahead, I always mess things up, nothing ever works for me. These are not harmless. They are creative forces, giving instructions to the life you are about to walk into. If you knew the power behind every word you speak, you would never again use your voice against yourself. To speak blessings upon yourself is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is you coming into agreement with the truth of who you are, not the version shaped by fear, trauma, or conditioning, but the original blueprint of power, wholeness, and divinity. When you say, I am worthy, you are not asking for permission. You are proclaiming a truth that your circumstances must eventually reflect. Your word is your wand, your tool of dominion, your bridge from where you are to where you desire to be. Do not wait for someone else to validate you. Speak it yourself. Decree it boldly. I am blessed, I am guided, I am rising, I am transforming. Say it until the atmosphere around you shifts. Say it until your mind believes it. Say it until the invisible becomes visible. The word is first, the form is second. Speak blessings and your life will echo the sound of your faith. For the world must obey the voice of the one who remembers they were never a victim, but a creator all along. Assume the feeling of the blessed life now. To wait for the blessing before feeling blessed is to live backwards. The truth is, your feeling is the magnet that draws your reality. The world you see is not separate from the world you feel. What you feel consistently becomes the atmosphere of your life. It becomes the people you attract, the opportunities that appear, and the conditions that unfold. You do not receive blessings, then rejoice. You rejoice as if you have already received, and the blessing arrives to match the emotion. The secret is simple. You must assume the feeling of the blessed life now. that there is a divine intelligence within you that responds not to what you hope for, but to what you embody. You can read every affirmation in the world, but if you do not feel it as true, it has no life. It is not the words alone that create. It is the feeling behind the words. When you speak, I am abundant, but feel lack, you push abundance further away. But when you say, I am, and allow that feeling to rise in your chest, joyfully, thankfully, you align with the frequency of blessing itself, and like attracts like. Imagination is not fantasy, it is a divine faculty, your power to feel and live from the unseen as though it were seen. When you close your eyes and imagine the version of yourself who is loved, free, successful, and whole, and then feel what that version feels, you are moving beyond wishful thinking and into deliberate creation. This is your work. To assume the feeling of the blessed life is to become a vibrational match to what you desire. And life has no choice but to conform. People wait years for external change, thinking that if life finally shifts, then they will feel different. But inner change comes first. No outer transformation can last unless it is born from within. When you begin to feel peace before the battle ends, the war dissolves. When you feel joy before the door opens, the invitation arrives. When you feel love before the relationship comes, the connection is drawn to you like a magnet. You have the power to feel ahead of time, and this is what reshapes time itself in your favor. Right. Today, decide to live from the end, not in fear, not in lack, but in fulfillment. Feel now what you wish to experience later. Wake up in the morning and walk like one who is already chosen, already healed, already favored. Let that feeling become your identity. Let it infuse your voice, your steps, your posture, your prayers. You are not chasing your future, you are becoming it. And as you persist in the assumption of your blessing, the seen must give way to the unseen. Because you are not waiting for the blessing, you are the blessing. And the world is waiting for you to finally feel it, believe it, and live from it. Now, reject outer appearances, speak from within. The greatest deception in life is believing that what you see is all there is. The outer world, though loud and convincing, is nothing more than a reflection, a delayed echo of your inner state. When you live by appearances, you become a servant to circumstance, a reactor to life instead of a creator. But the moment you reject the evidence of the senses and begin to speak from within, boldly, consciously, deliberately, you reclaim your authority. You stop reporting on reality and start declaring it. The world will always offer you reasons to doubt. Bank accounts may look empty, relationships may look broken, health may seem fragile, but appearances are not the final truth. They are the residue of past thoughts, old beliefs, crystallized into form. Do not let your current environment tell you who you are. Do not let the mirror shape your self-humor. Your true power lies not in observing the world, but in choosing to speak a higher word, even when nothing around you agrees with it. To speak from within is to create from the unseen. It is to say, I am whole when your body feels broken. It is to say, I am wealthy when your resources look thin. It is to say, I am loved when you are still walking alone. This is not denial, this is divine defiance. You are not ignoring the facts. You are overriding them with truth. You are choosing the invisible as your source and trusting that life must rearrange itself to reflect the inner decree. Everything you see was once imagined, once believed, once spoken from within before it came into form. So why would you argue with appearances now, as if they hold the final say? Speak what you desire, not what you fear. Speak from vision, not from memory. Speak from your inner knowing, not outer noise. The crowd may call it foolishness, but creation always begins in silence, in the unseen places where faith speaks louder than fear. This inner speaking is not passive. It requires courage to stand in the middle of contradiction and say, still I believe. To look at the chaos and speak peace. To feel pressure and still choose power. This is what separates those who drift from those who shape. You must not wait for proof before you speak blessing. Speak blessing until proof appears. Speak as one who knows that what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. And it is from the unseen that all things are made. Do not bow to the world. Command it, but command it from within. Declare who you are, not based on history, but destiny. Life will mirror your most dominant inner conversation. Change the speech within, and the scene around you must shift. But when you no longer speak from the surface, but from the soul, the world cannot help but follow the voice of the one who leads from within. I am the name of power. There is no greater declaration than the one that begins with I am. The phrase is not just a simple statement, it is a profound recognition of your inherent power, your divine identity, and your connection to the very source of creation. I am is the name of the infinite, the signature of the universe itself. It is the most sacred utterance, for it aligns you with the creative force that spoke the world into existence. And when you declare I am with conviction, you are tapping into the very essence of your being, acknowledging that you are not separate from the divine, you are the divine in action. What follows after I am is the direction of your life. It shapes your experience, molds your reality, and determines how you move through the world. The words you speak after I am become a reflection of your inner truth, whether that truth is one of empowerment or limitation. If you say, I am powerless, the world must respond with situations and circumstances that reinforce that belief. If you say, I am abundant, your life must conform to that declaration as well. I am is not a suggestion, it is a creative command. The power of creation lies not in the outer world, but in the simple truth of what you choose to affirm about yourself. This power, however, is not limited to just the positive affirmations of success or wealth. I am is neutral, holds no inherent judgment. It responds to whatever belief you place in it. If you consistently declare, I am a failure, that is exactly what you will experience. If you say, I am worthy of love, your relationships will reflect that worth. This is why the phrase, I am, is so powerful. It does not discriminate. It is the universe's blank canvas, and you are the artist who paints your own life with the words you choose to speak. The key to unlocking this power is in your awareness. The phrase, I am, is a doorway. It opens up an entire realm of possibilities. You must understand that when you say, I am, you are not simply describing who you are, you are declaring who you are becoming. When you say, I am healthy, you are not just speaking of your current condition, you are affirming your future state. The word I am bridges the gap between the present and the future, between who you are now and who you are destined to be. Every great person, every innovator, every visionary who has ever walked the earth understood this principle. They knew that their identity was not shaped by circumstances, but by their inner declarations. They did not wait for the outer world to validate them. They validated themselves first. I am is the key to unlocking that internal validation. When you declare I am with full belief, you are stepping into the shoes of your future self, and your outer world must begin to shift to match the vibration of your new identity. It is important to note that I am does not require proof. You do not need to see evidence of your greatness before declaring it. In fact, the declaration comes first and the evidence follows. The world does not shape itself around what you see. It shapes itself around what you believe. If you wait for your circumstances to align with your affirmations, you will be waiting forever. The power is in speaking the words first and trusting that the outer world will inevitably follow suit. This is where the transformation happens. The moment you begin to say, I am whole, even when you feel broken, you are rejecting the story of your past and rewriting it according to the truth of your soul. The moment you say, I am prosperous, even when your finances are tight, you are planting a seed of abundance in the soil of your subconscious, and that seed will sprout in time. Remember, I am is the only power that is truly yours to control. The world may try to label you, limit you, or define you by your circumstances, but those labels hold no power when you know who you are. I am is your declaration of freedom. It is the truest expression of your divinity, and when you speak it with authority, nothing in the universe can resist the power of your words. You are co-creating with the source of all things, and when you align with that power, there is nothing you cannot be, do, or have. In the end, I am is not just a mantra or a declaration. It is a statement of your eternal truth. It is the recognition that you are, always have been, and always will be connected to the divine source that created all things. The power to shape your life resides in you, and it begins with the words you speak. Speak them wisely, speak them with faith, and watch as the world begins to mirror the greatness you have already declared within. Persist in the spoken word until it hardens into fact. The spoken word is not a mere tool. It is the foundation upon which your reality is built. It is the living force that moves through you and shapes the world around you. Yet, it is not enough to speak a word once and expect instant change. The power of your words requires persistence. It is the consistent, unwavering repetition of the spoken word that causes it to take form. Just as a sculptor chisels away at marble until the statue reveals itself, so too must you speak your desired reality into being until it materializes in the physical world. To create with your words is to trust in their power, and to persist in that trust until the inner truth you declare becomes the outer reality you experience. There is a law, an immutable principle that governs all creation. What you speak consistently, what you believe and declare must eventually appear. But the key is in your persistence. The world will test your conviction. It will try to convince you that nothing has changed, that your declarations are ineffective, that your dreams are out of reach. Yet you must never falter. You must never abandon the vision you hold within. For when you persist in speaking the word of blessing, the word of abundance, the word of success, despite all appearances, you are laying the foundation for that word to harden into fact. The time between your declaration and the visible manifestation is not a time of waiting. It is a time of testing your faith. The question is not whether your words have power. They already do. The question is, will you keep speaking them even when the world tells you otherwise? Will you stand firm in your belief, or will you give up at the first sign of opposition? Persistence in the spoken word is the act of standing tall in the face of resistance, knowing that every word you speak is working beneath the surface in the unseen world to bring your reality into being. It is important to remember that your persistence is not about forcing or controlling life. It is about faith and trust. Trust that the creative process is always working. Trust that the seed you plant with each spoken word is growing, even if you cannot see it yet. Every day, every moment, you must choose to speak as one who knows that the words spoken in faith will eventually bear fruit. Your words are not just for today. They are for the future you are creating. This is where many falter. They speak their desires once or twice, but when they don't see immediate results, they abandon their declarations, thinking them ineffective. But the universe does not respond to the initial effort. It responds to your consistency. It responds to your unwavering faith in the power of your words. This is where true creators are born, in the daily, persistent commitment to speaking life into being, even when the evidence seems to contradict it. The key is to persist in the truth you are declaring, not because you need to convince the universe, but because you need to convince your own consciousness that what you have declared is already done. Think of the process like planting a tree. At first, there is no visible sign of life. You plant the seed and the soil appears unchanged. But if you give up too soon, you will never see the fruit. However, if you continue to water that seed, if you continue to nourish it, eventually it will sprout, then grow, and eventually produce the fruit you desired. Your words are no different. In the beginning, you may see no evidence of their power, but if you continue to speak them with faith and trust, they will take root in the subconscious and begin to shape the outer world. When you persist in speaking your blessing, in declaring your prosperity, your health, your success, you are programming your mind to expect nothing less. Your subconscious mind, which is the fertile ground of creation, will work tirelessly behind the scenes to bring about the conditions necessary for your words to become reality. It will move mountains, rearrange circumstances, and transform the very fabric of your experience. All because you did not give up, because you chose to trust in the power of the spoken word, even when the outer world said otherwise. But here's the beauty of it. The persistence in the spoken word is not a struggle. It is an act of grace. The more you speak the truth of who you are, the more natural it becomes to embody that truth. Eventually, your words will no longer be a declaration of something you hoped for. They will be a reflection of who you are, and the world will have no choice but to conform to the reality you have spoken into existence. So, persist. Speak your blessing every day, even if it seems invisible, even if the world says it's impossible. Speak it with the certainty of one who knows the law of creation. For the moment will come when your words will harden into fact, and you will see with your own eyes what you have declared in the silence of your heart.